Welcome to the MSHSBCA, or Minnesota State High School Baseball Coaches Association Dugout Chatter, and we're here with our Executive Director, Craig Anderson, who's coming to us live from Pine Island tonight on a wonderful day after a big Twins victory. And Craig, I know you're at the game. I hope you had a good time.
You know, it was a beautiful day for baseball. The Twins had a nice 4-3 extra inning win, and again, this was compliments of our membership. The Twins allow us 2 tickets for a game each month, and my wife and I went up to Target Field and just had a great day. So always nice to go home with a victory.
It was a great day out there. Low 60s, and they had the lead early and kind of gave it up a little bit, but the extra inning was exciting.
Yes, it was great, and so we really enjoyed it. Nothing like being at the ballpark. I've gone to several high school games, but it's always nice to see what the best players in the world are doing too.
For sure. Well, we wanted to get together and talk to our members and those folks who are interested in high school baseball about some of the things that we've been working on as a board and things that are coming up. So I know we have a few initiatives, Craig, that we've been working on, and one is to try to add more games, and we're working with softball on that. We also just wrapped up our scholarship drive where we've collected applications from some incredible high school senior baseball players from around the state. Upcoming, we'll have the finishing of the high school baseball season, which is unbelievably rolling fast right now, into playoffs, into choosing things like all-state and academic teams and the All-Star Series and state tournaments. So let's talk first. Let's back up a little bit and talk about the initiative that we're working on with our new President Troy Erdahl on some extra games. What do we know about that, Craig, and where are we headed with it?
Well, thanks, Don. We've been working with softball this year. Dawn Engebretson, she's the executive director of softball. And along with our liaison with the State High School League, Bob Madison. And we've defined some things that we think would be fair for high school baseball programs. We compared ourselves with some of the area states around Minnesota. North Dakota has 36 games. Of course, down just to our south, Iowa, they play in the summertime, but they can play 40 games. To the east, we have Wisconsin with 26 games. And we went just a little bit farther southeast. Illinois has 35. So when you start looking at all those states, those kids are getting a lot more opportunities, and their weather is very similar to that in Minnesota. So we want to give our kids that opportunity to try to equalize that number a little bit. But on a statewide basis, if you have an opportunity, our proposal is to have 2 tournaments, 3-game tournaments, but each tournament would only count as 1 game. So you could play 1 game on a Friday, 2 on Saturday. You can be very creative on this, but a 3-game tournament just counting as 1 game, which with your regular 18 games and then those 2 tournaments could give you up to 24 ball games. And with that, Don, you'll be able to play some different teams. I know there's a lot of high school programs that have big conferences. And with that, they play a majority of their games right within the league, and they're not able to get outside their conference very much. So it'd be an opportunity to play some different teams. You know, let's say teams from the north came down south. And if you paired up with a couple conference teams, they could play a conference game. The 2 traveling teams could play that, and then they could play each other and have a nice 3-game format. So we are really excited about that, as well as developing depth. Having coached for 40 years, I know when we played doubleheaders, we always used a lot of personnel. We never used the same 9 guys. And it gave us an opportunity to get some kids some game action. We developed more pitching, which is always key because we know as tournament time rolls around, there's always those kids who come up with those 1 or 2 big innings for you because with pitch count, that kind of thing, you cannot have enough depth.
It's our mission to promote baseball and to try to provide more opportunities for our kids and our coaches. And
Yes.
that this definitely does that.
Yes. And Don, we've noticed we try to use the format that volleyball, they're able to play their tournaments on weekends and see a lot of different teams and get in a lot of games. Now they go 2 out of 3, but they can play up to 5, 6 games on a weekend, which is great for them. And they can get a lot of extra matches. Wrestling has done a lot of that too, where they can increase the individual competition for their athletes. So again, we're just looking to give our kids more playing opportunity. We think it is a very fair request, especially based on our neighboring states. And we want to give these kids the greatest opportunity to experience high school baseball.
Yeah, precedent has been set with volleyball, and we know that other states, like you say, are playing more. And the goal for this rule would to potentially be implemented by what season?
Well, first we have to make sure we have the blessing of our member schools.
Has to pass.
So we have been busy sending out information to our coaches. And then here's the real key, Don. Our coaches need to communicate with the softball coaches as well as the activities directors within their school. We want to make sure that there are no surprises. They see the strengths of our proposal. And I think if we work together and we get great feedback, because this is going out, it already has, where they can evaluate that, then talk to the leadership within your district, because those are the people who will be voting. They will vote yes or no on whether this proposal should be forwarded. And we're hoping that communication is going to work out great. We do not want any surprises. And if we work together on this by getting a hold of not only the ADs, but regional committees, directors within a conference, so they know what's going on and the reason that we're doing this.
Let's see what happens, right?
I mean, yes, it only increases opportunity. And I think as coaches, that's what it's always been about, opportunity for our athletes.
Excellent. So also upcoming, we have Baseball Across Minnesota weekend, May 8th to the 11th. And anybody can participate within that weekend to promote the game of baseball, which again, a big mission of ours. It's what we do. And as keepers of the game, in a sense, in our communities, it's important for us to take that step to make sure that we're doing everything we can to have all age levels and all ability levels have an opportunity to play the game and learn the game and grow it. So with Baseball Across Minnesota, I know that our store is live right now. Communication is ongoing here to get that information out to our members and our communities. Couple cool things. We're leading off on the Thursday evening, not only with regular, with games going across all the state, but we have an evening Minnesota Twins clinic being held under the lights at Castle Field in Anoka to lead that off. Friday, there'll be games all over the state because Friday is a huge day for baseball games in Minnesota. Saturday, the De La Salle Islanders are taking on the St. Anthony Huskies at CHS after the Saints game. And I think, Craig, you'll be at least helping out with an inning or two at the ballpark. Does that sound about right?
Well, I'd be honored to do so. I don't know if I've had a formal invitation yet, but last year I was able to be with Sean Aronson in our inaugural Baseball Across Minnesota and throw out a first pitch. I was honored to do that. And then we talked about the possibilities of Baseball Across Minnesota. And this is for every level, as you mentioned, Don. It's for youth baseball. It is for high school ball, as well as junior high and JV. And then you start getting into college baseball.
Yeah. College baseball playoffs, a lot of them are happening at that time. And of course, the Saints are on board with us, and they're going to be broadcasting not only their game, but the high school game following that, which will be really exciting. And maybe they'll even hang around a little longer because from what I've heard, St. Anthony is having their prom, the first part of their prom being held on the field at CHS after the game. Should be pretty
Well,
neat.
hey, that'll be great, Don, and yeah, two quality programs taking place right there at CHS Field. And CHS Field has been so good to us and the Saints organization. Derek Scher,
He's amazing.
Zane Heiselman,
Yep.
we go way back during when COVID denied us from playing that year, the 2020 season. They were able to work up a senior salute, and a lot of high school athletes who had to end their season were able to play right there at CHS. And
Right.
that was a tremendous reaching out by the Saints organization to give these kids one last opportunity to represent their team and actually become teammates with some of the guys within their conference, because some schools weren't able to get a team, but they were able to do so as a conference, and that was tremendous. And again, the Saints will be playing the Buffalo Bison
Nice.
at 2:07, followed by that high school game. Just one more opportunity to celebrate baseball.
I know when they had that senior salute back in 2020, and that was my son's senior year at Anoka High School, and we were able to put a group of Anoka High School players together with Elk River and put 14, 15 guy squad together, and we called ourselves the Elk Nados. And the people at CHS couldn't have been any nicer. They were just phenomenal, and it was an incredible experience. We're so happy that they're on board and helping us out. So, and the Twins Community Fund will be helping us at our clinic that we're hosting on the Thursday night. But folks, if you want to participate, it's real simple. We're asking that it's a social media campaign, #BaseballLacrosseMN. It's also a great weekend to have some of those real meaningful games when you have, say, a dedicated game that helps a cause, whether it's Strikeout Cancer, American Heart Association, you name the type of thing that it could be a family benefit, something along the lines that is helpful. We want to do everything we can, not only to promote baseball, but promote important causes to us. And for every community, that could be a little bit different. So you were at an event last year. Was it at Zumbrota?
Yes, Pine Island was at Zumbrota, and it was kind of a unique evening where the head coach at Zumbrota Mazeppa had his father as an assistant, and the Pine Island head coach had his son as an assistant.
That's fantastic.
So we recognized that before the game. They gave me the opportunity to speak on the public address and talk about baseball across Minnesota. And that was a celebration, just showing how baseball is taught from generation to generation. And we know that tradition is ongoing. And Don, you've got that going right in your family with working with your sons in baseball at Anoka. So I think that's great. I think this year Pine Island is hosting Chatfield on May 9th, and that's going to be a Little League night. So
cool.
all the Little Leaguers will be out there, and they can go and stand by their favorite player during the national anthem. And then over the course of the game, there'll be door prizes given out throughout the game, and kids will be able to not only enjoy the Panthers, but I bet there'll probably be a couple pickup games going around the stadium at the same time.
Nothing much better than smell of things on the grill and seeing kids playing hot box or wiffle ball out on the side, chasing after foul balls and getting in the scrum and good baseball on the field. So
yes,
that sounds great. So Baseball Across Minnesota coming to you May 8th to the 11th. Store will be online, and we'll get that promoted out there with the link. Thank you, Zephyr, for your support. Thank you, Killebrew Root Beer, for being there for us. Anything we ever need. Thank you for all of our folks that have helped us get this going, especially the Saints. And we'll just keep promoting that and hoping that every year we keep growing it. So let's talk a little bit more as we move into the season, Craig. There are updates, deadlines, different things that folks need to consider. You have done this for so many years and obviously retired now, but that kind of gets to be a busy time for coaches. There's nominations, different things. Talk about some of that and maybe your experience with that in the past and what coaches maybe need to be thinking about as they move ahead.
Sure. Well, I don't have all the specific dates right in front of me, Don, but if
I do, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Sure,
but if they go to the MSHSBCA
.org.
website. You will find all the information right there. We've got our history, we've got records, and we've got vital information that coaches need to have as they make their all-star nominations. We've already talked about scholarships, and we're excited that we're going to be awarding 8 to 10 scholarships to deserving athletes across the state. So as you also mentioned, we're evaluating those, and that announcement will be coming forth in a week or two. And then we've got, as the season is getting near completion, then we've got academic all-state for individuals as well as teams, all section, all state, and
our incredible All-Star Series that'll be in Chaska, June 19th to the 21st. So
yeah,
we have our coaches all in place and named. We have our selection committees are excited to get together in May at a site secret location. We don't want to let anybody know. No, it's not secretive in any way, but we have fun with getting together and choosing the best teams that we can. The North and the South have 20 players each. The Metro, 4 teams, each have 16. So there's 6 teams battling down in Chaska, and that's always a fun time, just shortly after the state tournament and the prep championship series at Target Field.
Yeah, Don, you do such a great job with that as our chair of the All-Star Series. But this is a great opportunity to recognize nearly 100 athletes that have been dedicated to the game, and now they can showcase their talents playing the best, playing against the best, representing their region. As you mentioned, the South, the North, then you have the Metro East, West, North, and South. So when you put all 6 of those teams together, you're going to see some incredible talent. There's an outstanding banquet. Usually we have a tremendous speaker there. And it's just an opportunity to celebrate great play. And I might add, last year we had, for the first time, a Joe Mauer Award. And we'll be presenting that night at the banquet before the All-Star games start. And with the Joe Mauer Award, this is an athlete who has been involved in high school athletics their sophomore, junior, and senior year. And of course, they need to be outstanding in all of them. It always helps. But they also have to have high standards in terms of no state high school league violations. They're in good standing, and if they are doing a great job academically, they're involved in other activities. We're kind of looking for the all-American boy that is also a great baseball player, like Joe Mauer. And last year we had Mark Anderson from Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, an outstanding individual, great athlete in 3 sports, and was a tremendous first representative of the Joe Mauer Award as a high school senior.
What a cool thing for Mark to be able to talk about to his kids and grandkids someday too. So
no doubt.
There's a lot of things coming up, a lot of things that are happening. Our season goes so quick. I know at Anoka we've already played a quarter of our season, and by the time we end next week, it'll be halfway done. Things are flying quickly. Are there other things that you wanted to bring up for the membership and folks to know? Maybe how is membership going, or
well, we've got 477 members, and that's great. But we would love to see at least every head coach joining our association. And with that, not only to develop the camaraderie of working for the good of high school baseball, but to become aware of all the things that are available out there for their program and to honor their kids. And sometimes, just like it seems like in the coaching business, there is a turnover. It's hard work. And if you start looking at how much you get paid compared to the hours you're in it, I think it's universally known.
About a dime
none
an
of us
hour.
are in it for the money. We do it for the love of the game, having an opportunity to work with these kids, developing relationships, and teaching the game that we love. And with that membership, they also become dual members of our National High School Baseball Coaches Association. And we have become very involved with that. Don, you've been on a national ranking committee.
Yeah, I was on the
Now we
rankings
have
committee. Yeah, Bucky took over for me.
Yeah, Bucky Lindau has taken over because you served that committee for many, many years. Troy Erdahl was elected our second vice president of the national organization. Paul Twenge is an associate director. So he's had a lot of say in how that organization goes. Al Umdahl is on the Field of the Year committee. And we also have Tink now is going to be on the Hall of Fame committee with myself, and I chair the National Hall of Fame committee. So we are very involved, and this is a tremendous chance to find out what other states are doing as we work together for the betterment of baseball, not only in Minnesota, but throughout the nation.
And this information that we were able to gather from folks in the BCA helps us with our initiatives, such as adding more games and getting quick input from neighboring states and helping us to formulate a plan as to how to move forward with a great proposal. So a lot of relationships, a lot of people you meet, and it's very exciting. So I know that we also have Tink Larson going into next year's Hall of Fame class, I believe.
Yes. Tink will be honored next December, and that's going to be at the Florida Sanibel Marriott the first weekend in December. And Tink has had, he's a member of just about every Hall of Fame you can name that he could be.
Speaking of that, Greg, you are too, and I know that you're headed into a Hall of Fame with is it the Minnesota Coaches Association Hall of Fame? Is that it? Or is it the National Coaches?
Yeah, this is the National High School Athletic Coaches Association.
That's amazing.
And I was nominated, through the Minnesota High School Minnesota High School Coaches Association, and it's a tremendous honor. But let me say that my honor is due to the great work of our association. All I do is work with the great coaches in this state. Like I said, I was able to be a head coach for 41 years, 1 year in Central City, Iowa, and 40 at Pine Island. And I've just had a lot of fun. I guess I've never considered it a job.
Right.
And, first of all, you and I were both married to saints. You have to be married to a great partner. And my wife, Sue, has been there every step of the way and supporting me and been one of my biggest fans, as well as our kids. And really, I think you go right on down the line as you look in the state of Minnesota. I see so many spouses there cheering on, probably working a rake, getting that field ready during rain delays and that kind of thing. So we are very fortunate. And then you talk about like the Minnesota Twins, what great partners they are.
Yes.
We have our state clinic in January, and we work. Derek Falvey, the new president, took over for Dave St. Peter.
Yeah.
These guys have both opened their hearts to high school baseball in our state. And the Twins Community Fund, Kristen Rorvig and Chelsea Falzone, Kobe Allen, and we could go on and on and on. These people are all just promoting baseball through every level. They want people involved with the game. And we're obviously more than happy to jump on board and be partners with them in promoting high school baseball.
You're always so modest, but congratulations on your Hall of Fame entrance and induction. And when is that, Craig?
That's going to be in June, I believe, June 24th out in Rapid City, South Dakota. So,
very nice.
It's a tremendous honor, and I humbly represent our Coaches Association because I really mean that. Yeah. There have been so many great people who came before me, and I'm just trying to keep it going. And we've got some great people on our advisory board and just fantastic coaches in every class, A, AA, AAA, 4A.
100%. And congratulations. So
thank you.
Moving ahead here, we will get to award season. There will be a new Hall of Fame class that we'll be announcing right around the June state tournament time and other award winners. We'll be having our clinic again next January at Target Field, along with the folks with the Twins Community Fund. And we have some excellent speakers that we've already started to line up. And one of the cool things with that, with how hard Mark Downey works with that and his committee, is that folks love our clinic and they want to be at our clinic and speak at our clinic and talk to our coaches, because they know they're in a world-class facility. They're with incredible people that our coaches are second to none. They talk and go up and introduce themselves, very friendly, very great questions of our speakers. And, we also have some good lunches and some great fellowship and great times together. So that's always a fun weekend. Let's get a wrap here soon on a couple last moments and some things you're thinking about. And then we'll put a little bow on this one for tonight, because there's been a lot of information and hopefully people go back and check things out. But what types of things do you think we need to keep in mind as we move forward here with the season, Craig?
Yeah. Well, I think number one, the baseball proposal. Talk to your activities director, talk to your softball coach, and we would love for a strong yes coming out of every school in the state, because that's what the Minnesota State High School League Board of Directors needs to hear. They need to know that people are in favor and they're informed. You don't want any of these mystery proposals and nobody really knows anything about it. So I think we're doing our homework. We're getting our information out there. We're giving, we think, solid rationale. And Bob Madison is a great liaison for our baseball association. And I know he works hard for every sport that he's involved in with the State High School League. So that's number one. And then baseball across Minnesota, get those promotions. When you think about the baseball across the state, town ball, we are unique in the nation. It isn't just youth baseball and high school ball, and you put away your spikes and forget about it if you're not good enough for collegiate ball. And of course, we have great collegiate baseball in this state too. But town ball, in the pride that these communities take in their facilities, a lot of high school teams can play there, and it's a breeding ground for those future town ball champions. And they can keep playing the game that we love years and years after they graduate.
Mm-hmm. Have you had the Fox 9 town ball tour come to Pine Island at all?
We have not, but I absolutely love seeing those town ball specials, especially during the state tournament. Fantastic, because you recognize so many people and some of the former high school stars coming up through the ranks and still enjoying the game.
It's so neat to see how they've kind of jumped on and promoted baseball, at a kind of a media level in our market. And I say that because in July 3rd, Fox 9 ballpark tour is coming to Castlefield in Anoka. And we're thrilled as a Legion program to be able to play the game before the Anoka Bucks play that evening. And we'll have Channel 9 in the city of Anoka all day. And I know that they have their morning show and then their midday and evening shows will all be broadcast from town, from Anoka. And there's other communities that are doing the same. And it's just, it's fun to kind of learn more about communities in such a kind of an intimate way through baseball. I was curious if Pine Island had that. And I would imagine if you haven't, you'll probably work your way here pretty quickly. I would think.
Well, it sounds like something we would love to have, because we do have amateur baseball team in town, and I know the Pine Island Pioneers would be honored to have that touring group right there.
Something to think about.
Don, one last thing, the big culmination of our high school season, we have so many great venues where we can have our section tournaments, and then we have the 4 classes playing at 4 different sites, but it all culminates right there at Target Field. And when you think about what the Twins have allowed us to do. They work with the State High School League and allow 4 classes to play their championship games right there, one of the most beautiful stadiums in the nation, if not planet Earth. And they treat each game like it's the 7th game of the World Series. Their staff goes out there and it is just immaculate. Larry DeVito and his staff, they treat it just like it's a second game of a doubleheader, that the Twins are playing, and they do it 4 different times. And with the scoreboard, and it's just everything about it is first class. And I think as you look around Minnesota, many of our sports play in some of the finest venues in the nation. We're pretty lucky.
Did they have a high school game following the game today you were at?
Yes. In fact, Lakeville North was taking on Lakeville South.
Lakeville North. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
and I haven't heard how that one came out, but we saw a lot of Lakeville jackets and jerseys in the crowd. So what a thrill for Lakeville. So somebody can now declare themselves at least champion for the day. I don't know if they probably play each other home and away.
We were really lucky to do that at Anoka a couple of years ago. We played Elk River, and we played a 1-0 game, and it was almost kind of, it was an amazing game, fantastic action, pitcher's duel. It was almost kind of sad in the sense of we wanted to play longer, and the game went so fast. It was like our longest game of the season. It took about an hour and 15 minutes, and we're all looking around like, that's it, we're done. And we wanted to hang out longer, and they were really cool. The folks in the grounds crew let us kind of lounge and linger and take as many pictures as we wanted, and it's such a great experience. So
making memories, Don, and really that's what high school athletics and activities are all about.
Yep, 100%. Thanks, Craig, for the time, and it's always excellent to hear about all the things going on within our ranks in the high school baseball state of Minnesota, and we'll look forward to hearing from you again. So we're going to sign off on this Dugout Chatter, and I appreciate you all joining us for this. And if you have any questions or want any more information about some of the things we're doing with adding more games or baseball across Minnesota, Craig mentioned earlier, but I'll mention it again. Check out www.mshsbca.org or look on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it at MSHSBCA. On Instagram, you can find us there, and Facebook. So there's a lot of ways to get information. The Hub, the Star Tribune Hub, is also a place to gather scores. And of course, you can check out your local papers and see if there's anything out there about your teams as well. Craig, thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Always great talking baseball with you, Don.
You have this look about you where your face is bright and shiny, and the rest of you kind of has this Leonard Nimoy vibe. It's like from the future, and but you're gonna.
I probably should have wore something other than black with a black background. I'm just a talking head.
You're gonna be like a god. Yeah. You're a disembodied. I won't say it, but